Hello, everybody. This is NFL 128, and I'm just coming to you right quick to give you a few brief words about the Locks versus Dipset versus battle that took place on Thursday night. In my opinion, that was the biggest win real hip hop done had in the last 20 years. And I know, anybody that may be watching this gonna sit back and say, "Oh, here he go talking about that real hip hop shit." But yes, real hip hop for the first time in 20 years. No auto tune. No BS. Real. True to the game. 1990s smoke filled in the dungeon basement hip hop. Had a complete unadulterated W. The Locks and Dipset came together, and all the other, people in the crowd and other rappers that were there and celebrities came together and put on and had an excellent night at Madison Square Garden in New York for hip hop, showing that at the end of the day, real hip hop is still alive and well, and it's not gone, it's not dead, still alive and well. I just want to talk about how I did expect more from Dipset, but I'm not surprised at the outcome that we got, because at the end of the day, when you juxtaposing the Locks versus Dipset, you're talking about a three-team group of guys that have been together ever since they were in elementary school, as opposed to a group of guys that were put together when they were grown men just for the purposes of show business and entertainment. The Locks showed up and really did what we expected them to do. They came ready to battle, ready to go head to head, song for song and battle. And Dipset just showed up thinking it was going to be a normal situation where, they was going to play a song and the Locks was going to play a song and they was going to sit on the stage and have a good time and talk a lot of shit and act the fool. And that's what they did, and everybody, that knows the history of both groups could have pretty much foretold that, even though we all expected just a little bit more from Dipset. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't be surprised by what it is that we got from either team, because we know what both teams are. They both successful rap groups, but they have two different pedigrees, and that pedigree showed on Thursday night. The way the Locks performance was crisp, the way it was on point, the way everything seemed to be planned out. There were very few mistakes made, and then with Dipset, they just seemed to be up there enjoying themselves, having a good time. Basically winging it and doing their thing. And that's okay too. At the end of the day, all fans of the Locks and Dipset had a moment in a place, a little piece in time where they could enjoy themselves. And we all got something that we all got a fun night out of it. That was not these normal little boring versus battles where, saw fun and games. That was an extremely entertaining ass event that we got at Madison Square Garden on Thursday night. And both groups made it entertaining as hell. The crowd, the energy made it entertaining as hell, and everybody put on. So I'm extremely proud of how things turned out, and I think it's extremely cool what it is that we all got from that. Much love to Dipset and the Locks for putting on a great performance for us all. But at the end of the day, the Locks, they showed up and killed shit like we all expected them to do. Jada Kiss showed why he's one of the greatest MCs of all time. Styles P showed why he's one of the greatest MCs of all time. Sheik Luch was there. He did his thing. He rocked out on his performances and his songs, and the Locks put in a hell of a performance. They're going to talk about that versus battle right there and the Locks performance for a long time. And I think it's going to be a long-ass time before any other rap group shows up in a versus battle and puts on like the Locks did. And I think it's going to be a long time before you see any two rap groups show up and have the kind of energy that those two groups had. But at the end of the day, that was a beautiful ass night for real hip hop. It was a W for everybody that loves that kind of music and that kind of street hip hop that came from the 90s, and that in the last 20 years seemed to get kind of diminished and pushed to the side for this new version of hip hop that's all about this super grimy element of the streets that's super deaf and killing and all that, all this little stupid shit. So at the end of the day, I just want to give a shout out to the Locks and Dipset and all the fans and the people that were in the building that provided the energy for that night, and that gave all the fans and people something to remember and something that'll be talked about for a long time. That's all I wanted to say. Everybody have a great weekend and enjoy.